Welcome to Learning in Language Arts with Mrs. Jones. Today's lesson is entitled Sentence Structures. We will be focusing on simple and compound sentences. Our purpose for today's lesson is to focus on our GVC number 3. Students will use proper conventions and grammar as we focus on the standards Language 6.1 and Language 6.2. Today, after you finish this lesson, you should be able to identify a simple sentence, identify a compound sentence, and combine simple sentences using coordinating conjunctions to create compound sentences. So let's begin. What is sentence structure? Boys and girls, sentence structure is the way a sentence is arranged grammatically. The sentence structure of your writing includes where the noun and verb fall within an individual sentence. Sentence structure depends on the language in which you're writing and speaking. There are 4 different types of sentence structures, which means we can arrange our sentences in different ways. This adds variety to our writing. The 4 different types of sentence structures are simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. However, for this lesson, we will only focus on simple and compound sentences. So let's begin. A simple sentence. What is it? A simple sentence contains only one independent clause. An independent clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb that expresses a complete thought. This may sound a lot like what you have been taught about a sentence. You are correct in that thinking, and therefore we can make the assumption that a simple sentence is indeed an independent clause. This sounds like a silly thing, and you may be wondering why we can't call it a sentence. Well, we can. However, by identifying it as an independent clause, we are able to learn about the other structures down the road. So just keep that in the back of your mind and in your notes. So, again, we can remember that a simple sentence is equal to or the same thing as an independent clause. During this part of the lesson, we will refer to it as a simple sentence. Here's an example of a simple sentence. Mary plays tennis, with Mary being the subject and plays tennis being the predicate or the verb or action in the sentence. I want to make you aware that simple sentences may have compound subjects or predicates, which means there's not always just one noun or one verb. So a subject may have more than one noun. Here's an example. Mary and Tom play tennis. This is still a simple sentence because there is only one subject. Although there are 2 nouns, it is Mary and Tom together that are playing tennis, that are doing the action. You can also have a predicate that has more than one action. For example, Mary and Tom play tennis and swim. So the subject, which is Mary and Tom together, are doing more than one action. They're playing tennis and they are swimming. However, this is still a simple subject because we have a simple sentence because there's one subject and one predicate. Now, we have a compound sentence when we combine these 2 simple sentences, or now we will call them independent clauses. These clauses are joined by a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon. This is very important. The 7 coordinating conjunctions that we are familiar with, and we call them our fanboys. They are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These are used to connect the clauses and therefore create what we call a compound sentence. You need to know to correctly write this type of sentence structure, you must have a comma before the coordinating conjunction. So let's look at a formula for a compound sentence. You have your simple sentence, which we will call an independent clause. and then you put your comma. The comma would go where the first sentence would end, where it might have had a period before. You're going to use the comma as the punctuation. And then you're going to use the correct fanboy or coordinating conjunction before you add the second independent clause or simple sentence. And then we, of course, end this sentence, this compound sentence, with a period. Here's an example. We have these two simple sentences. A small brook trout looks like a minnow. It fights like a whale. We can combine these into a compound sentence with the conjunction but, and it would look like this. A small brook trout looks like a minnow, but it fights like a whale. Pay attention to the comma and where it comes, always before the conjunction. Here's another example using the coordinating conjunction and. My dog has hair hanging over his eyes. He looks just like a dust mop. We can combine these sentences with the coordinating conjunction and it would look like this. My dog has hair hanging over his eyes, and he looks just like a dust mop. Remember, the comma comes at the end of the first independent clause before the conjunction. Boys and girls, that is our lesson for today. It is time for you to do your individual practice. If you cannot answer the following questions, you will need to go back and review your notes. Make sure that they are complete. You can rewatch this video as many times as you need, and also come and visit me. Remember, we were to focus on what a simple sentence is, what a compound sentence is, and why we use them. Thank you for learning in Language Arts with Mrs. Jones, and we will see you next time.